Hey everyone, I'm Evan, and welcome to Finpod, your aftermarket recap. It's the end of the trading day, and we're here to break down what happened today, giving you the essential daily financial digest you need. Finpod is brought to you by Fintwit.ai, your leading platform for real-time trading signals from X and AI-powered stock analysis. Let's dive right in. First up, let's talk about what's been trending on X. These are the stocks generating the most buzz among financial analysts. Topping the list today with a trending score of 100 is SoFi Technologies, which saw a slight dip of 0.5%. Following that, Bloom Energy was a big mover, unfortunately to the downside, dropping over 10%. Microsoft, however, bucked the trend, gaining about 0.5% and keeping the conversation lively. CrowdStrike Holdings also had a strong day, climbing nearly 3%. And finally, Apple was widely discussed, ending the day down just under 1%. Now for a quick market recap. It was a challenging day across the board for U.S. markets, capping off a tough week. The S&P 500 fell about 1.5%, marking its fifth consecutive losing week and its worst week since the war in Iran began. The Dow Jones Industrial Average also dropped around 1.5%, pushing it into what we call correction territory, meaning it's now down more than 10% from its recent high. And the tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite sank over 2%, also finding itself in correction territory after falling more than 10% from its October high. The primary driver for today's cautious sentiment stemmed from the ongoing U.S.-Iran talks and the impact of President Trump's 10-day pause on Iran energy strikes. We also saw crude oil prices rise again, fueling investor fears about global inflation and potential disruptions in the Persian Gulf's energy industry. Technology stocks were among the heaviest weights on the market today, with notable drops in names like Nvidia, Amazon, and Meta. Moving on to the AI economy, the landscape continues to evolve at a rapid pace. We're seeing artificial intelligence reshape B2B e-commerce, driving a significant consolidation towards more integrated platforms. Companies are actively shifting their budgets towards AI, often by reallocating funds from existing software. On the product front, Anaplan announced new AI-driven planning enhancements, including Co-Modeler and Agent Studio, aiming to bring predictive and generative AI directly into planning workflows. Cisco is also adapting, recasting its security models for what it calls agentic workforces in response to the rise of AI agents. Databricks launched LakeWatch, an open, agentic SIEM built on its Lakehouse platform. Interestingly, NTT Data highlighted that cloud value gaps are now threatening AI ambitions, suggesting that companies unable to modernize their cloud foundations may struggle with production AI. In other news, Tencent Holdings announced plans to double its AI spending this year, though the market reacted negatively, selling off shares despite otherwise strong earnings. And a notable development in the private AI space, OpenAI reportedly shut down its Sora AI video generation app, indicating a shift in focus, even after a recent contract with Disney was dissolved. Let's turn our attention to some individual stocks that made big moves today. Datadog was among the biggest losers in the S&P 500, falling nearly 8%. Moderna also saw a significant drop, down about 7.5%. On the downside, Cisco Corporation declined close to 15% following news that it's nearing a $29 billion deal to acquire Restaurant Depot. On the flip side, United Therapeutics had a strong day, climbing nearly 13% after its drug Tyvaso met its primary endpoint in an IPF trial. Now, for a look at some of the earnings results that crossed the wire. Anadarko Petroleum, which reported after the market closed, beat expectations on earnings per share but slightly missed on revenue. The stock was down nearly 2% in after-hours trading. KT Corporation, reporting before the open, missed its earnings per share estimate but did manage to beat on revenue. Its stock also saw a decline of nearly 2%. And while full results are pending, Fermi Incorporated saw a sharp drop of over 13% today, indicating a negative market reaction ahead of its official numbers. Centessa Pharmaceuticals also experienced a notable decline of almost 4%, with its earnings still pending. That wraps up our aftermarket recap for today. It was a day dominated by market-wide declines driven by geopolitical concerns and rising oil prices. with tech stocks taking a hit. We also saw some interesting developments in the ever-evolving AI landscape and a few individual stocks making big moves on company-specific news and earnings. Thank you for tuning into Finpod. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss our daily market insights. For detailed analysis and AI-powered stock insights, visit fintwit.ai. Until next time, I'm Evan. Stay informed, stay ahead.